Hey everybody, welcome to Myopia Movies. This week we're talking about Return to Oz in honor of the sequel to Wicked. Yeah, so this was not one of my childhood movies. So when my wife wanted to watch it, there was kind of a coy smile across her face. We sat down with the kids, and if it didn't scare the hell out of them, almost pretty quickly, between the electroshock and some terrifying costumes, it really is a crazy film. So enjoy Wicked 2. Electric Boogaloo, and if you can find this, it's on Disney. Watch this, because holy hell, this could use a song in any joy. But thanks for listening, thanks for tuning in, thanks for sharing, and thanks for keeping us relevant and doing all you do to do so. We appreciate you. Thanks, everyone. Welcome to Myopia Movies. This week, in honor of Wicked for Good, I believe it's called, we are doing Return to Oz to remind us the importance of Judy Garland in a movie instead of this unfortunate actress. I'm your host, Nick Hoffman, Riffer on Cineprov, and on panel we have
Alex, what's up?
Charlie.
Atlanta author Matthew W. Quinn.
And we are talking about the Disney movie that is a 50-year sequel, 30-year sequel?
The first legacy sequel.
I have to say, I do take exception to your classification of Fairuza Balk. She is a gem. She is a Gen X Wunderkind of witchy actressing goodness.
She's fine. She's just trying to be Judy Garland, and she should not be.
And check her out in that Island of Dr. Moreau movie with Marlon Brando. That movie's actually pretty good.
It is not. But I appreciate that you said that. But yeah, she's a good actress. It's just they're asking too much of her in this film, in this very unsettling film. We'll do the Island of Dr. Dr. Moreau one day, and it is not good.
That could be for one of our spring movies. We have it for our meeting.
We'll be scheduling soon, so I guess right in. Obviously, we're doing this because it's once again Oz is on the big screen, more or less, in a very it's a Broadway musical. What do you want me to say? It's a big budget movie. After the last one did pretty well at the Academy Awards and won $1 billion. So this time we're introduced to, I guess, the aftermath of a soundstage, and I'll just throw it out there. If you have not seen the original, which I don't think is possible as an American, I think it's legally required, but there is a 4K remaster that came out a few years ago that is delightful. Rewatch that one at least first. Be familiar with what's happening before you watch this, because this movie is very strange. And it keeps referring to the original, which is weird because it's another film company. So they have none of the rights to any of the original material.
I think they had to shell out money for the ruby slippers.
I believe they did. I don't doubt that they did. Or someone did a heist from a soundstage somewhere. I don't know how else, because I believe the ruby slippers are at MGM Studios in Florida. They're on display at Hollywood Studios, the Disney park.
Well, so when they bought everything, they didn't just get access to everything that was in the books, like all the L. Frank Baum books.
Please, Charlie.
Yeah,
that's all in the public domain.
Oh, sure. Okay, you're right.
So
I guess
in that, it's not explicitly supposed to be a sequel to the movie, because that is protected, whereas the books are not.
Got it.
And so this was based upon the second and third book, sort of mashed up. The second book didn't have Dorothy in it. The third book did. And all the books are delightfully weird.
Yeah, that's what I was getting. I haven't read really any of them, but there's a ton of them apparently. When I was sort of going down YouTube rabbit holes when I watched the movie, and I got the impression they are very strange.
Well, yeah, and it's funny because watching this, I realized that they belong on a bookshelf more akin to Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland books. This is very much the American Alice in Wonderland, more than say a C.S. Lewis and into Aslan and its heavy dose of Christianity. This is more like, but what if things were stranger? No. Stranger than that.
Now I'm imagining a crossover where Aslan is putting the Cowardly Lion through boot camp.
Oh, dude. First of all, great movie. They made it. It's called Babes in Toyland. And it's very unhinged. Have we done toys on this podcast? The Robin Williams movie? I don't think so.
I don't know.
Oh, that would be a good one to do.
That's a great idea. It's a strange ass movie, but
It's delightful.
it is filled with childlike wonder.
Joan Cusack, amazing.
Joan Cusack, Robin Williams. Anyway,
And which one of the ices?
Ice Tea,
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube.
It's got Ice Cube in it. Not
does.
vanilla. Not the vanilla variety.
No, not Vanilla Ice.
I saw this movie when I saw that movie when I was a kid. I'd love to revisit that movie.
It's Michael Gambon as well. It's
Michael Gambon is also in his future Dumbledore.
yes, and Robin Wright is in it, and LL Cool J is in it, and Jack Warden is in it, and Jamie Foxx is in it.
Wait, we're talking about the Robin
Wow.
Williams toys.
Yes.
Well, all these guys have been like 10
Wow.
years old.
Yeah, no, this is what it is. And actually, you know the song "Let's All Go to the" that he sings it. That's the trailer. He's in a field, and he's dressed like in a suit with like it's like a hat,
A derby hat.
derby hat. Yeah, and he starts singing it. It's a strange one. That is a strange movie, but as Charlie said, it's delightful. Like this movie, segue.
Okay, let me do a musical interlude, please.
Oh, go ahead.
no.
There's trouble, I'm telling you. Trouble down in Kansas City. Trouble with a capital T that rhymes with E, and that stands for electroshock. Also known as that's the plot of the first 20 minutes of the movie.
Over you.
And yes, there was
Electroshock therapy.
electroshock therapy. So
Because
yeah.
Aunt Em and Uncle Henry think Dorothy's has suffered a head injury, and that's why she keeps talking about Oz.
No, they think she's lost her goddamn mind. It's not a head injury. They think she's gone nuts because she keeps dreaming about it. She keeps asking about it.
She says it's real.
Yeah. And, like, I mean, electroshock therapy was relatively new at the time, but it did exist. This is a real thing. And Mr. Electroface is going to zap the shit out of you. But yeah, so I do like how Uncle Henry's just become a fall down drunk, and he's not helping.
That was really weird.
That was very specific. Like the house is still wrecked after the tornado, and he's just fall down drunk. So either it's not been that long since the tornado, or it's been hard times.
Well, it's been 6 months.
It's been 6 months, so it
Yeah,
has been
'cause I
hard.
think
They explicitly call that out.
Also, if you have not seen Wizard of Oz in a while, the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, and the Scarecrow are all people from the farm, right? They're people who work there. They're mostly gone.
Because they've been laid off.
They've all been fired. And so we will get our new cast of characters other than the Scarecrow, who does make a cameo appearance at the end of this movie. But essentially, Dorothy's wandering around talking about her dreams. Toto shows back up, and we start seeing this blonde girl appear wandering around, who we have no idea who she is. No one else seems to see her. But again, kind of like, I just keep thinking of C.S. Lewis, but like Mr. Tumnus and that kind of thing. Like, I mean, and again, I believe this came first, so I'll give it credit here.
Yeah.
But like, Dorothy sees her, no one else does, and she's taken to this house.
Well, do we see the blonde girl before they're going to shock her?
I thought she appeared outside the
She
house.
yeah, she does. Yeah.
And then she
Yes.
appears in windows when she's at the house, even before the electroshock. And then the night that she's supposed to get the electroshock therapy, which is a thing, and it's a thing they're bringing back because, it's retro cool.
I think they've refined the process.
Let's do a quick summary real quick.
I was going to say, Charlie, we zap her into Oz, and then
Yeah,
Charlie shows up.
So it opens with Dorothy lying in this makeshift bedroom in a half-constructed house, staring out the window, or a reflection of the window. And mirrors comes into play quite a bit because that's essentially where that young blonde girl is reaching out to Dorothy from.
We're through the looking glass.
Yes. What's important about this is that there is a shooting star.
Yeah.
Okay. The next day, Dorothy is putzing around the farm. I guess it's a farm. It's not really a farm. It's just a big field with a half-constructed house on it. Uncle Henry is not working and sort of reading a newspaper. Aunt Em is Aunt Em, played by
Piper Laurie.
Piper Laurie, aka Carrie's crazy mom.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll tell you what,
she's a bit nicer in
Catherine
this
from
one.
Twin Peaks. I just finished first two seasons of Twin Peaks.
She's a bit nicer in this one, but yeah. So she's an understanding, loving but very firm woman, and she wants to make sure that Dorothy is fine. The problem is that Dorothy just won't shut up about Oz and how it was real, and that worries Em. And so she engages the services of a doctor in a nearby town, and takes Dorothy there, drops her off. It is a overnight stay, and it is very clearly a sanitarium of some sort, of the time, if you will.
And of the time, I mean, there are people locked in the basement.
Yes. Screaming constantly, apparently.
have you seen, say, anything about an asylum? It's that. Like the new season of Wednesday, it's that also. Like
Yeah.
it just.
Yeah, and the reason for my little musical number at the beginning is the doctor at the sanitarium reminds me of the guy from The Music Man, only instead of the benefits of having the town having a band, he's all about that electroshock therapy.
Well, once you get to the hospital, you start to see where the parallels to Oz come into play.
Right.
Okay. So you're introduced to the doctor, who later on is going to be also the Gnome King.
Right.
We're introduced to Nurse Wilson, which later on is going to be Mombi. Mm-hmm. You even see some other elements that are not quite as explicit, but
I think aren't the Wheelers some of the orderlies?
the main orderly is Wheeler, and he's first introduced by pushing a cart, and they're always pushing carts. So there's wheels there. Not quite obvious, but I think equally as important, the electroshock machine had a quote unquote a face and is wound up.
Yeah.
And so that's very much a TikTok reference. So it's very interesting the way it picks up on those parallels from the original Wizard of Oz.
Well, and also, we'll get to it. I feel like if this had been done by a Henson company production, this would have felt very labyrinthy.
Yes.
But like most of the effects are very cheap, with one notable exception, which is the talking wall, the stone, which looks incredible and is very freaky.
The best part about it.
100%.
The rest of it is TV movie quality.
Well, and like we'll get there, but so much of this movie feels like, what did Disney have around, and where can we spend money? Because like when we see the psychologist, the electroshock guy, he looks like the man behind the curtain, right? He really does. He has the top hat. He has everything. The Victorian garb.
These are the dark days of the mid '80s in Disney.
I'm sure that house was in 100 things.
So he's Something Wicked This Way Comes.
I believe so.
Well, that was made around the same time, but he's got the evil carnival guy.
Well, but also like it just all fits together that way, and I'm just. I like the parts where they spend the money, and other times they just don't. And here you can tell that they just did not.
They did not.
And it's fine. I don't know how Disney put this together. If listen to when we did Disremembered, but like this is the dark days for Disney. They had
really dark days.
Now, is there no Henson involvement? I thought some of the people with the effects are, and Brian Henson is the
Henson
voice
plays
of
Pumpkin.
Jack Pumpkinhead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Strangely enough,
But yes,
it's not full Henson
they
company.
This was not a Henson company production.
Right.
But they were engaged.
Okay.
Because back then, they would be contracted out.
I mean, literally, you could imagine Jim Henson with a cigar just saying, "Who else are you going to get to do those puppets, huh?"
You gonna make those puppets? No, you're not gonna make those puppets. You're gonna get me to make you puppets. And to be fair, they're creepy ass puppets. But TikTok in particular and Mr. Jack Pumpkinhead are impressive puppets.
They are. They are.
They are impressive. They are unsettling.
So what happens is, just as they're about to strap Dorothy in and wheel her away to get electroshock therapy, a storm happens. A young blonde girl, the one that we've seen in the mirrors, the ones that we've seen in the reflections.
Yeah.
She's always seen in the context, with the exception of her getting Dorothy out, she's always been seen in some sort of reflection. Mm-hmm. So she unhooks Dorothy and they run from the house. Nurse Wilson sees them and starts chasing them, as you would expect a nurse to do in the middle of a storm when two kids break out of a hospital.
Yes. As one would.
As one would.
Yeah.
They both fall into the young blonde girl and Dorothy fall into a river and are washed away. Dorothy climbs into this crate and wakes up in the middle of a desert.
Yes.
With a talking chicken.
With her talking chicken.
Wow.
Hey from Moana shows up.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
Ellen Tiddick.
Belina
Yeah.
is her pet chicken, and she's convinced that this chicken that is in the crate with her is her pet chicken. Don't know if it is, but it's...
I think it
chicken
is
named
because
Belina.
I think it is because there's a whole plot point about how if she doesn't lay any eggs, she's going to be dinner.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then she ends up in Dune, because the desert just.
Well, it's the deadly desert,
Yeah.
which surrounds Oz, and if you step onto it, you're killed. You're killed. You turn to sand and you die.
And I will just add, because we have so much to go through, I'm not going to stop every time, but this is something I like. This is something we don't do anymore, which is the beautiful matte paintings. The backgrounds look remarkable. Everything looks very crisp and clean here. And because of that, you're thrown into an actual world.
Yes.
Right? It's the reason why the old Star Wars movies will hold up in a way that a lot of the modern stuff just does not. Because you don't have to improve on the technology when it's just a damn painting. And we literally do have this line where they're in a puddle and they're in a crate, which now looks like a cradle very much.
Yeah.
And on one side, we have this desert. On the other side, there's like a line that's just green. Yep. And we have, I guess, satisfying land that won't kill you.
So she jumps from rock to rock and gets onto the green. At this point, you start to see faces in the rocks that are clearly watching her. We see some Oz thematics. There is a lunch pail tree, a tree that grows lunch pails. She grabs herself two of them, and she goes down the road goes through the woods with Belina. She comes across her house that brought her to Oz the first time. And of course, that being close to Munchkin Land and the Yellow Brick Road, she looks around and sees that there is a Yellow Brick Road, but it is destroyed.
This is also, I think, where she gets the lunch pail tree.
Yep.
Which is so strange.
Have we mentioned that somehow Dorothy has gone from looking like she's in high school to looking like she's 9?
I think Judy Garland, I almost said Judy Greer. Judy Garland's supposed to be a 10 or 11-year-old.
Yeah. Again, it's not allowed to be a sequel to the movie. So I think they just sort of disregarded that.
I mean, also, people drank water in the 80s. Judy Garland, I don't know how much.
The steady diet is something else even by that point, is what you're saying?
Cigarettes, probably. I mean, the fact that, we don't need no fog. We've got the haze from the producers here.
Exactly. But yeah, she starts going down the Yellow Brick Road until she comes across the Emerald City. And the Emerald City has been destroyed.
Yeah. So I guess we should stop just for a second and catch up with the plot. This is a very strange... I know, I have nothing to add, really, but, my God, this is unsettling already. The rocks are my favorite trick. The looking, the animation there. I don't know how they did it, to be perfectly honest, because it looks really good. But essentially our main character is talking to a chicken.
it's definitely they're carved in clay, and they superimpose them.
What I think they do is it's like Ray Harryhausen animation, and
Definitely stop motion.
and then they use computers or whatever they have to add extra shadows so that they look more animated than they are. But it's just remarkable looking.
It is. It's probably one of the best. Well, it is the best effect in this because everything else is pure garbage.
And I will say everything else is a downgrade too. Instead of Toto, who's delightful, we have a talking chicken. And the talking chicken doesn't know the first movie, so she has to explain what happened in the first movie to the chicken. She's like, that's our house from the first one. It crushed a witch. And then you're just like, thanks. Awesome. And she's like, but if it's here, well, there's the witch. Huh. The chicken's like, but is there food? Where are the munchkins? By the way, the yellow brick road just got turned to shit.
Yeah, it was.
It
was torn up,
and like, to what end? We're not really told. I mean, I guess they're collecting gems and stuff, but not gold. So she literally picks up a styrofoam brick, and she's like, "It's a yellow brick." We're like, great, thanks, kid.
Yeah. But yeah, no. It wanders up to Oz to Emerald City.
Emerald City, yeah.
And it is. I mean, it looks like it's been bombed out. Wartime. These are like pictures you see of the Middle East.
Yeah, this is Gaza. But I will also add, because we're here, this section to me is kind of the most terrifying. Like, this is like that bombed out French city in 1917. Like, we're like walking around these ruins of what looks like the Epcot Center.
Yeah.
And this is where we get the Wheelers. And if there's one truly terrifying thing, it's the Wheelers.
Yeah.
So we first see someone has written "Beware the Wheelers" on the wall, and then the Wheelers look like something of an '80s kids show.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
The great punk, sort of quasi-punk aesthetic
Great
coming
design.
across, sort of new wave punk aesthetic. I loved it.
Yeah, speaking of the Wiz, this is something that'd be right at home there.
Yeah.
This is something right at home of another Michael Jackson property, like Captain EO or something like weird like that.
Yes.
This is very much.
It's really good. A really good effect. I mean, they really have some talented people who are doing it. Their hands and feet have wheels on it, and their hats have faces so that when they're wheeling, they've got this weird, disturbing looking face.
Dude, it is like it's Mad Maxy almost.
Yeah, it is. It is very much. But throughout, and the other weird thing is that throughout the Emerald City are statues of people.
Yes.
And it becomes very clear that everyone was turned into stone.
Many of them missing heads.
And
While
many
dancing.
Many of the women.
Yes,
Young
the women
women
specifically
are missing
in
heads.
dancing in circles, headless, frozen.
So the Wheelers inevitably find Dorothy and begin to chase her. And she runs, and, there's a key that she finds when she was back in Kansas.
We should mention this is where she finds the Tin Man and the Cowardly Lion as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because they have been turned to stone.
They have been turned to
well.
stone, yeah.
And again, I only mention that because the whole thing is, at the end of the movie, the last movie, the original movie, she very clearly says, "Oh, Scarecrow, I'll miss you most of all." Weird line. We've not explained what that means. But when she comes here, she's like, "Oh, I should find my friend the Scarecrow," as though she's forgotten about the other two, and the other two are just frozen dead.
Yeah.
It's a very strange thing we should add, but this is where the Wheelers come into play because she's looking for a key, blah, blah, blah. She gets trapped, and what Charlie and Alex alluded to, it's not just that there are statues, but the statues are in weird places. It's a good way to do. I know that Doctor Who has done this. It's very like sci-fi 101. Like, what if there were statues, but they were slightly out of place? That means that they're either people turn into statues or the statues come alive. You get to pick.
No, absolutely. And so she gets trapped in a dead end, but there's a keyhole. She puts a key in and opens the door and finds TikTok.
And he does amazing dance moves.
That's right. So I will just add here that TikTok is probably the most famous person you haven't heard of, apparently, because TikTok is played by a guy named Tim Rose, who's kind of like a little person stunt actor. But he was Admiral Akbar in the Star Wars movies.
No, he's not. He is full-sized.
Oh, so he was just full-size Admiral Akbar. He's also third-size Howard the Duck, and he is TikTok here, among a million other things. So he's just a stunt guy. He's also one of the Muppets in A Muppet Christmas Carol, just a big suit guy. And he plays,
because his portrayal of TikTok, he had to actually bend over fully in there.
Wow.
Oh, that's awful.
Good
that
Lord.
That sounds terrifying.
Google pictures of it. It is, he could only do it for like 15, 20 minutes at a time. But luckily, they only needed him to do it when they pulled back and showed TikTok walking.
Yeah, he just sort of does his side-to-side hop prance, sort of very awkwardly. That's fascinating.
Oh my God.
Wow. Why?
Yeah.
I mean, seems like they could have done something else.
He literally had to bend over and tuck his arms sort of in, and that's how they filmed that.
Wow.
It's painful to think about.
And I will just also add, there's a guy named Michael Sundin who did parts of it. Like, to make some of these animatronic puppet costume thing all work, it took a lot of effort. And frankly, as far as effects go, that's the things that work kind of the best.
Yes.
Like, it really looks incredible.
The more practical, the better.
Yeah, and so TikTok says you turn the thing on the back, and
he has 3 wind-ups, one for his thinking, one for his movement, and one for his talking.
Right. And so they kind of fall apart one at a time when his wind runs out.
But they get out of there and they confront the Wheelers, and TikTok actually very handily kicks their butt.
Yes.
He was left actually in that space, and the key was sent to Dorothy by the Scarecrow. He says that.
Yeah, and as we mentioned before, she kind of finds it in the field, and she uses it as evidence that she's not crazy, but everyone still assumes that she's
exactly.
crazy.
I mean, it says like Oz on it, right? I mean, what did she like make the key? Like she shows it to Auntie M. It's like, here it says Oz. She's like, well, that's nice, dear.
Exactly.
These people are awful too. Which, I mean, I guess kind of they are in the
I mean, this is like 1899, so I would say they're actually pretty spectacular for 1899.
A little anachronistic with the electroshock therapy. I looked at, wasn't quite around in that time, but whatever. Anyway,
it could have been.
I think maybe really early, yeah. But anyway, I like TikTok's whirling dervish routine that takes out a bunch of the gutter punk wheelers. That was cool.
Yeah,
I mean, did Tim Rose do that?
And then he proceeds to like Vulcan nerve pinch. The one he captured for like 10 minutes to squeeze him for information.
Exactly.
To get to
they discover that Mumby actually knows where the Scarecrow is.
That's why she wants to see Mumby as opposed to just escape.
Exactly.
Right. And so this scene is remarkable. It's also the weirdest shit I'd ever seen. I mean, I don't know what it was like if I had seen it like you did in theaters, but like this is truly, we're in Versailles in the Hall of Mirrors or something. Like, we're in this all glass and gold and chandelier room, and Mumby is your standard Disney-esque evil queen, where she's like beautiful and refined and elegant and an evil bitch.
Although we don't see that at first.
Go on.
I don't think she seems like she's friendly at first, and then she's not.
Very Disney Queen-esque, right? And then she gets taken into this hall of heads, and we learn effectively what happens is that the evil queen, and again, this also reminds me very much of Alice in Wonderland with the Queen of Hearts and that kind of thing. These moods changes, but effectively, what she's done is taken the heads off of all the beautiful women in town in the Emerald City, so that she can exchange her head for the other heads, because Mombi is mostly like this robotic body thing. And the thing to me that sold this scene is that all the other heads on these little pedestals turn their eyes and blink as though they're watching her move around the room, wanting to be picked. And like, so much of this is your most basic camera tricks. But damn, is it not effective? It's like going to the Haunted Mansion in Disney. Like, you know how mirrors work. You know this stuff is all a trick. But it's super effective, man. Like, I mean, if I'm in Vegas and I'm watching a magic show, I'm still going to be like, like, that's all this is. But it looks so good. And then you cut for half a second back to Dorothy, and it's the other actress wearing the same stupid dress. It's fucking scary.
No, absolutely. I mean,
Very
good effective practical effect. I mean,
well, and as you alluded to, we have Mombi, who's the nurse from the other thing, but these women all have huge eyes, and that is their you know their secret talent. But that's just it's the Elijah Wood-esque wide eyes that focus down. You're just like, oh, they're gonna kill this child. And the heads on the walls are also like, I'd kill the child if it was my turn to be the head. Yeah. Like,
and if I recall correctly, Mombi was the Wicked Witch of the North.
Sounds right.
Before the Wizard of Oz. Because by the Wizard of Oz, there was a good witch of the North.
Right.
And a good witch of the South. Because Glinda was a good witch of the South. And I can't remember who was the good witch of the North.
So what you're saying is Wicked needs a janky sequel where the other witches are involved?
You go even deeper into the alternate character
why not? Like,
point of view.
Make it really Tim Burton-y, where like Mombi is having a musical number and the other heads are the backup singers.
Oh,
and they're all swaying back and forth and back and forth.
That's good.
And to make things even worse,
Mombi the genie.
And Mombi wants to keep Dorothy locked up until she grows up big enough that she can wear her head.
Yeah, no, that's seriously creepy guy in Ohio with girls in his basement vibes. Forget that guy's name.
Oh,
I forgot that guy's name.
But yes,
how could you have forgotten his name?
But Mombi was one of the Wicked Witches, and she's actually pretty freaking terrible.
No, it's a good evil character for just a little bit, and then TikTok comes in to rescue her, and then does she has to rescue
because she forgot to wind him up again,
and so then she gets locked into a room with a bunch of antiques, and there was Jack Pumpkinhead.
Right.
Dorothy helps put him back together, and he was just a marvel. I really have to say.
And by the way, Tim Burton owes someone some money because this is Jack Skellington with literally in Nightmare Before Christmas, we're introduced to Jack Skellington with that pumpkin head on, and he burns it away. Like, it's so much. And we can do whatever we need to here, but like, so much of this movie feels disjointed, like I assume the real book does, like the book does rather. But I imagine there was something where she keeps forgetting to wind her watch or something.
Well, they're intermingling two movies.
That's what,
and it's out of order. Everything's out of order. It's not. It's like they're taking. Okay, let's take this plot element. Let's take this plot element. Let's take this plot element, and then there you go.
Because like the idea that she forgets to wind TikTok. I imagine in the book, if you're a storyteller, she's always late because she keeps forgetting to wind her watch, right?
Yeah.
And so she learns a lesson because that's what kids do in kids' books. They learn lessons. But like here, I will also just add, my wife said this, Charlie said this. This is what the animations look like. The lion, the Tin Man, the Scarecrow look more like these characters.
Yeah.
And here we get a painting, which I believe is based on the Baum cover of the original book.
Yes.
Where we see what they look like with the giant eyes, the sack for a head cinched off like the Scarecrow, which looks more like the Batman villain Scarecrow than the movie, because they hired vaudevillians in the movie, so we wanted to actually see their faces so we could see them emote. But like, then we pan to Brian Henson as Jack Pumpkinhead, which again, remarkable puppet, scary as hell. You leave this thing in like a spook house or in a haunted maze, it fits.
It's great.
It's so.
But he was originally created as Well, a form of a scarecrow and brought to life with Mumby's powder of life.
Right.
Which is different from the scarecrow. Scarecrow was human turned into a scarecrow. Okay. Whereas Jack Pumpkinhead was never alive, but he was created.
Correct. And so what at least here, this is when I realized, we're going to essentially repeat in some ways the first movie by getting a new team together with her at the core. Because she literally, not unlike with the Scarecrow, where she has to restuff him. His stuffing has all been taken. We have to reassemble Jack Pumpkinhead.
Yep. And it's great because they go back and forth between Pumpkinhead as a puppet and Pumpkinhead as parts of a real man, a real skinny man in a
costume.
A costume.
Yeah. And so, like, when she's reassembling him, there's the puppety angle.
Yes.
And it allows it to be very tactile, and it feels like, I don't know, like a good animatronic. Like we see the joints and yada yada, and he's kind of shuffling them, and the head is very articulated.
It lolls about.
Thank you, because I realize this is a audio medium, and I'm doing physical movements, but it is what it is. And when it stands up in this kind of janky way and becomes a thin man who's with like knobby knees and an extension on his arm against her,
the movements are so fluid and awkward, and it was what I wanted to see. It's great. Unfortunately, it is like 10 minutes of joy in a turd.
I would say that's the weirdest part about this movie is its inconsistencies. If you told me there were 4 different directors doing different parts and they knitted together, I'd believe you.
Yeah.
Because of how atonal this feels all the time.
Exactly. Yeah. So they come up with a plan, and Pumpkinhead's hands are small enough to slip through the door to unlock it from the outside. So he tells Dorothy about the powder of life. Bellina and Pumpkinhead start to assemble a creature that will be brought to life with a Gump's head that will fly them out of there. And so they start doing that. And TikTok as well. Unfortunately, while Dorothy's on her mission, which is to get the powder of life, TikTok's thinking wears down, and so Pumpkinhead doesn't know what to do because he's an idiot, and Bellina's a chicken, and TikTok's spouting nonsense, gibberish.
And just because we're here, because Charlie's sitting down, I'll tell him this. Gump is played by an actor, I guess, called Stephen Norrington, who you know is the director of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, of course, and the director of Blade.
Wow. There you go.
Gump directed Blade.
The Gump directed Blade. Good times.
I was like, Stephen Norrington, that sounds familiar. Oh, right. Okay.
But yeah, so then Dorothy goes to get the key from Mumby. It's tied around her wrist.
Yeah.
Mumby is asleep and snoring, though I am not certain how a headless woman would snore.
No.
But it happens.
You're thinking about it. Don't think about it.
Don't think about it. She gets the key off. There's lots of close calls. She then sneaks into the cabinets where all 31 heads are.
Yeah.
Like 31 flavors. 31 flavors of terror.
Well, and this scene is terrifying because she takes the key off the head, and then all the other heads start screaming. And
well, and this is the part that I remember so distinctly.
Yeah,
like all the heads start screaming, Dorothy!
And they scream and they turn as she runs by, and it's this Dorothy Gale and
Dorothy Gale,
dude.
And she's just like, oh. To me, that was, as a 10-year-old in a theater, that scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, and I was wrong. It's not the key she's stealing. She's stealing the powder of life.
Oh, yeah. With the powder of life. But she grabs the powder of life. She gets out of there. She creates enough distraction that Mumby is delayed a little bit, but Mumby's on her way. And so she gets up there. She realizes that TikTok's needs to be rewound for his thinking. They hastily finish putting together the Gump, not effectively, which we will find out later. And they sprinkle the powder of life. She says the magic words, and well, the Gump starts flying.
That's right.
We have a flying couch, Frankenstein with a fan, moose couch.
It's two couches.
Terrifying.
Actually, it's two fainting couches
Right.
pushed together, tied together with palm fronds for wings and
moose. Gump.
An Oz creature called a Gump, which is basically a moose that is mounted on a plaque.
Yeah.
And I will just also add here, I believe Jack and her have my favorite lines of this, which is essentially TikTok is winding down, so he's going nuts, but he's still talking. And she goes, "Oh, his brain just wound down." And Jack goes, "Well, then how is he still talking?" And Dorothy goes, "It happens all the time to people."
That is true.
And it's a good, I mean, it's very much, when he's writing the books, he's writing about the politics of the 20s. And, you know, people without brains can talk an awfully long time. Which is, I think, a Scarecrow line as well. Yeah.
But they get away and they start flying towards the Gnome King castle.
And as they're flying away, Mombi looks phenomenal, right? Her hair's and the light is behind her, and she's having her like huge moment here.
And she sends the Wheelers chasing them, but they're flying over the deadly desert, and so the bunch of the Wheelers can't stop and die.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I mean, in fact, it's during this time that she was in Willow.
She was
Queen
Bavmorda.
And so and very much she looks like her in this moment, you know, with the wild frizzy hair and the evilness. So she sends the Wheelers. They can't cross the desert. They come back. She then attaches them to a chariot, climbs in the chariot, and then they travel in tunnels underneath the deadly desert to the Gnome King's mountain.
Where, incidentally, our heroes have crash landed.
Yes, with a very trippy, surreal storm sequence with probably the worst graphics I have seen, special effects that I've seen in a movie that was theatrical released. I mean, this is the part where the special effects looks like it was a TV show from the 80s.
Well, and which is a tragedy because one of the most impressive things from the original is that tornado.
Yeah.
Like you'd think like 40 years later or whatever.
The special effects from that tornado were much better than this.
Palpatine's lightning is more realistic than this, and it's purple. Like
this is just ridiculous. So the Gump falls apart, and as expected, and they crash land on the Gnome King's mountain.
They crash land on a Legend of Zelda level. Let's be honest. Like it's so plastic and flat.
But it's important to note that at this time, for some reason, Bellina gets caught in Jack's Pumpkinhead's head.
Yes.
And so Bellina is not visible, which there's been a plot point running throughout the movie thus far where the Gnome King is terrified of the chicken.
Yep. He mentions it at the very beginning, like when you see all that the underground cool claymation stuff. He's asking about a chicken. You don't know why at the time, obviously.
Yeah, he's obsessing over the chicken. And everyone's like, oh, there's no chicken. Can't see the chicken. We know the chicken's in Jack's head. So that goes on.
They set that up for something.
They set that up for a reason. So the Gnome King basically invites them into his parlor and tells them, oh, I attacked the Emerald City because they had all my emeralds, because emeralds are from the ground, and I own everything in the ground. And that was basically the Gnome King's thing. He was bitter and spiteful because he believed that he owned all the jewels and everyone stole them.
And have we mentioned he's wearing the ruby slippers, which Dorothy dropped on the way back to Kansas?
And that is apparently how he had the magic to destroy the Emerald City.
I'm glad we made it all her fault.
Yeah, well, it's all Dorothy's fault.
Or so he would have us believe.
Yes.
Psyops.
But, you know, he tells her that he has the Scarecrow captured, and he turned him into basically a tchotchke.
We should also mention that you were talking about how bad the storm looks. Her flying through the gems of the Emerald City is
oh
just...
my God.
I mean, you want to talk about stoner nonsense. This is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Is it raining? Yeah. Because it's just green and nonsense flying by her, and we're like, it's very strange. It is
very strange. Again, the special effects left a lot to be desired.
Except for the damn talking walls.
Well, once they get into this and they start dealing with the actual Gnome King, that's the part that gets good.
It does.
That's where the special effects are great. So the Gnome King basically says, "Look, I've captured him and turned him into a little object, an ornament, and each one of you will get 3 guesses to find him, and if you don't, you get turned into an ornament, and if you do find him, then you all get to leave."
Right. And when essentially he gives the quest, and then the wall turns back just into stone. It's cool. It's
great. I mean, the walls are like fluid. He and the other gnomes are, these weird semi-rock creatures. Faces appear. This is the part that's good. This is the part that's really well done. This is where they spent apparently most of their money.
Well, and, the basic idea here, this is where Dorothy actually gets to kind of act, which is effectively the Gnome King thinks that the Scarecrow stole them. That's because he was the king of the Emerald City.
Because, yes, he was in charge of the Emerald City. And
then she's like, he never stole them. And she's like having her little kid cry session, which she does in the movies too, the first movie too. And he goes, he never stole them. Okay, well, if he didn't steal them, you have a chance to save him, right? And it does look like we're talking to Zardoz, our California raisin. It doesn't matter, but at the same time, she is emoting, and we end up with all of our other characters, which the Gump comes back, TikTok comes back, Jack Skellington comes back. And I will say across the board, it is a step down from the original trilogy of characters. But, we're here, so let's see if they can solve the Cavern of Mysteries or whatever.
Yeah. So basically what happens is that, everyone goes in and gets turned into ornaments. TikTok goes in and then stops.
Can I just add one thing before we get here?
Yeah.
Mommy sends the Wheelers after Dorothy. And like Matt said, a lot of them try to get to the desert, they die. But she doesn't have a ramp at the front of her castle. She has stairs. So to watch the Wheelers try to go up the stairs...
That was impressive. They were...
That was funny.
It's like an ADA joke in the middle, but it's very much like she's looking out the window as they can't climb the stairs. And she's looking at them and goes... Where's Dorothy? And they're like, trying to balance on. that worked for me.
That was funny.
I'm looking for anything, Charlie.
No, you got to find your delight and joy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so TikTok winds down, or it appears that TikTok has wound down. He stops moving. The Gnome King basically says he has stopped moving. Dorothy says, "Oh, well, he probably was wound down." And the Gnome King allows Dorothy to go in. TikTok says, "Well, I'm fully wound. This is me trying to let you see how I guess, so maybe it will give you a clue."
That's right. And the whole time this is happening, Mommy is racing
through the desert
with like this weird chariot made of like the Wheelers, right? And I will also add, the wall guy, the Gnome King, has now just become a dude who looks like a Greek statue. This is very much like we're the end of a Star Trek episode, and the god has shown up for tea, which is kind of cool as well.
Yeah. But she discovers that the Scarecrow was an emerald. So she brings the scarecrow back, and then she realizes that everyone who was with her party turned into something that was green.
Right.
So she brings everyone back, and that's when Mumby arrives, and Mumby and the Gnome King are talking, and the Gnome King realizes that Dorothy is winning, and the Gnome King just loses his mind, decides, well, I don't care about the deal. I'm going to basically kill her. I'm going to kill all of them. So he goes in and basically grabs, I think at this point, he grabs Pumpkinhead and tries to eat him. And it turns out that chicken eggs are poisonous to gnomes, because he's holding Jack Pumpkinhead over his mouth, and Bellina is so afraid that she lays an egg and it kills the Gnome King.
What's the symbolism here? Okay, so provided that is in L. Frank Baum's stories, he's trying to say something. Like, I guess the Gnome King, I mean, I was trying to think of what he represents, what he's supposed to represent. I kind of looked it up. I guess he represents like kind of in a like industrialization. I was just reading real quickly, like the greed that comes with an industrial society or something like that. What is this egg? What is it? What does this egg mean? What are they trying to tell? What is he trying to tell us
I
here?
think it was just a plot point.
Right. They're poisoned to him. That's it.
I mean, the original one is, there's been a lot of hay about how the giant head is McKinley, I don't know, and like the yellow brick road is the gold standard, and in the books her shoes are silver, not ruby. And so you have this whole thing about farmers, and so there's a complex metaphor there. Past that, I couldn't tell you shit. I'm like,
yeah.
And then the eggs over my hammy shows up and saves the day. The Grand Slam meals. Yeah.
Denny's saves the world.
Oh, dude, could you imagine? I could go for an Egg McMuffin right now. I know it's not Denny's. Better. It's like a sandwich, so you don't get your.
Thought your word was sandwich.
Sandwich.
Back to the movie.
Oh, why? And by the way,
the Gnome King is dead. The Gnome King, before he died, turned on Mombi and imprisoned her.
Yeah.
So they just pick up
Dorothy
the cage.
grabs the shoes, puts them on, and wishes them all back to the Emerald City. Wishes the Emerald City to be restored, and wishes all the people to be returned from being stone.
Which, by the way, I will say, as far as cheap things go, the Emerald City at this point, literally, is just Disney World. It's the stairway. It's stepping out of Disney World.
Yeah.
Like 100%. Like to the point where I'm not even making a joke. I think it literally is Disney World's exit, and they just put a green thing over the film print because it looks exactly like we're leaving a theme park.
Yeah.
Like walking down the stairs to get to the monorail. It's so amazing how cheap this looks.
Yeah, there is a celebration, and they want Dorothy to stay and be Queen of Oz. And that's when Dorothy makes a wish that she wishes she could be in both places at once, in Kansas and in Oz. Her shoes glow, and then there's a glow in the mirror.
Yes.
And we discover that it's Ozma, the child ruler of Oz, and that Mombi had imprisoned her in the mirrors.
Yeah, because Mombi earlier in the movie is talking smack to someone you can see only vaguely in the mirror.
And, Dorothy helps Ozma out of the mirror, and Ozma basically takes the slippers and sends Dorothy back to Kansas and says she'll look in on her from time to time.
Yeah, no,
and that's it. That's really it.
Well, and to me, this is the part. And again, whatever, but it feels very much like the C.S. Lewis books at
Yeah.
that point, where you're like, oh, well, we're the queen of both places, and yada, yada, yada.
And now it's wrapped up with a bow.
Well,
And by the way, we are also told at the end here that everything burned down. Apparently, the
Oh,
asylum
yeah.
was
Yeah.
struck by lightning.
Yeah.
And everyone got out except for the professor.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't that Dorothy ran away. It was that the asylum was burned down and the doctor died.
and
Trying to save the machines.
Trying to save the machines, apparently.
and
It's very pro farmer.
and
Yeah.
apparently the nurse was arrested because Mombi was put in prison in Oz.
Right. And it's like they find her in like a riverbank.
Yeah.
And this was what causes Uncle Joe to sober up or whatever, because the
Yeah.
next shot is the house done.
And he's like in the field working. The house is
The
built.
leg healed up real
Yeah,
good.
because he's been sort of milking his broken leg from the tornado for a while.
Which, by the way, man,
Got a drink. It's the only thing that makes the pain go away.
thank God they invented something called Vicodin. Now I can be a doctor. And then she's in her room. She wakes up from a dream, and then a blonde holding a chicken appears in her mirror, and she's like, "I'm healthy now."
Yeah, that reminds me. You brought up Labyrinth. That's the end of Labyrinth. Is she's talking
It
to
is.
all her imaginary friends in the mirror, and they have a dance party.
Yeah. But
Except
yeah,
there's no
that's
pervert
the thing.
owl looking in the window.
Ozma says she's going to look in on her from time to time, and there you go.
Oh, and Toto's back somewhere too.
That's right.
So really, that's
Yeah.
it. I mean, that's the weird movie that gave me nightmares for
Cut to credits.
several years, actually.
Just like I'm sure Wicked 2 Electric Boogaloo will do to children today.
Oh,
This movie is so strange.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know
this
what to say.
this was
Alex, take us home.
like, well, yeah. I mean, we talked about Fairuza Balk earlier. I mean, I thought she did fine, given that this was like the first basic thing that she'd really ever done.
Yes.
She went. There was like this huge worldwide search, and she got the part. I don't think she'd even done like a commercial hardly at this point. They put her in some very strange acting situations. I would think for your first anything you do, like acting, a disembodied Gump head and a weird pumpkin man, and yeah, I don't know. I thought she acquitted herself fine, I guess. There's a lot of there's enough sort of curiosities in this movie that I was interested throughout. I mean, yeah, apparently there's like quite a cult following for this thing. I don't know that I'm going to be part of that number of the cult super fans of
Well,
Return
you
to
have the
Oz.
shaggy look to be a cult member.
Well, it's very true. Yeah, I was glad I saw it this time.
Matt, then I'll go, then you can take us home.
okay.
It was okay, not bad, not great. I mean, if you really want to check out the Disney Dark Ages, go for it.
I mean, what I'm going to go ahead and say is it's a what's it. Like, they don't make movies and the weird thing to me about Disney is Disney does not allow a lot of art through anymore because there's so many committees and groups and committees and groups. They don't make movies like this very often because what they generally make when it's bad is it's boring. This ain't boring. It's just strange, which to me makes it interesting. It's not a great movie, but I'd say see it because you're not going to see movies like this very often unless they're made by some weird low-budget production. Frankly, like we said, this had a budget. It's just only used in chunks, right? Like, it would be like if you went to a steakhouse dinner, you spent all the money on steak, and then everything else was like frozen French fries. Like, there's really big highlights, and then everything in between is garbage. It's like, again, I ordered the porterhouse, but the only sauce they have is A1. Like, I don't know how else to put it. So yes, I'd recommend watching it. You're not going to like it, so see it with people, but it is weird. Charlie?
Yeah, I went to this was the summer I spent 4 weeks with my grandparents. My grandmother took me to see this one. I also went to I saw a lot of movies that summer. Daryl and Goonies, I believe.
Ooh.
Yes.
Cinema at the cinema.
And my grandmother was like, "This is a weird movie," and I don't recall the Wizard of Oz being like this. But I remember talking with her about it, and she did mention that it was very similar to the books. So there's that. I will say this. Mombi is fantastic. She is evil. She is terrifying. I had nightmares about her for weeks. That whole head swapping thing, that was actually good special effects. That was well done. Her parlor, her room with all the heads. I mean, that was great. Like chef's kiss. Perfect. The Wheelers were fantastic. Jack Pumpkinhead was amazing. The Gump was whatever. TikTok was a delight. Some aspects of the Gnome King were good.
And then he turns into a guy who's just spray painted gray.
Yeah. I really like the stop motion animation of the faces in the walls talking.
Yeah.
That was really well done, really effective. Those characters, those characterizations, the special effects were wonderful, but everything else was hot garbage because the plot was disjointed. It was the rest of the effects were so low budget. It was as if it was from a TV show.
Yeah.
It was not what you would expect from a theatrical release, much less a Disney theatrical release. But then again, this was the dark ages of 1980s Disney.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel you should give it a watch, especially if you love Wizard of Oz. You should definitely give it a watch. It's fascinating. It leads you into some of the weirdness that is in the books, but don't expect too much from this movie.
We're about to get our 5th Wizard of Oz movie, so we should rank them eventually. Also, why doesn't Dorothy sing? She should. I'm kidding.
The lack of music in this is another
weird choice.
Yes, I mean even just background music.
But as an aside, it's not like Disney isn't known for songs.
Exactly.
Right? It could be a big stupid world. But anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. And you know, man, I know when this comes out, everyone's going to be searching for Wicked. Everything's going to be searching for Wizard of Oz. So share this for us because, again, we get listens because of you. It's not like we're advertising. So we appreciate our loyal fans, and we appreciate you for sharing us and get someone new into the podcast because of this little treat of an episode we've given you. Thanks, everyone. We're out.
Myopia Movies is executive produced by Nick Hoffman and produced by Alex Ewalt, Keiko Childs, Matt Quinn, Nick Hoffman, and Noor Trinette. It is edited and engineered by Noor Trinette. The theme song is Surf Shimmy by Kevin MacLeod from Incompetech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. All rights reserved. Thanks for listening.